Good evening. Welcome to another episode of OmenG's Stupid Scary Stories. Tonight I won't be reading from any book. I don't think I need to do that on this particular evening. There's a lot of crazy ass shit that went down today and yesterday. I don't know if anybody saw the quick change in weather yesterday. I took pictures of it and posted it on my Instagram account. It was strange. There were bright lights in the sky. There were aliens, perhaps, maybe. I'm not quite sure. There were many strange things in the sky the past couple of days. Didn't notice anybody going missing or anything like that, but I noticed something about one of the creatures in wildlife, woodlands creature. It is the squirrels. We're acting a bit funny. I wasn't quite sure exactly what was causing this odd behavior that I was seeing. I mean, there was a accident not too far from here involving a train, some release of chemicals. Now, I'm not saying that it has anything to do with why these squirrels were acting the way they were acting, folks, because this wasn't like normal squirrel behavior. You know, sitting down at my table, eating some breakfast, a bowl of cereal. I don't often eat breakfast, but this particular day I felt like sitting down and having a bowl of cereal, so I did have a bowl of cereal as I sat down at the table. I looked out the window, and the squirrel was just staring at me. I was like, what the fuck is this shit going on out here? It's just staring at me. Now, I'd never really seen squirrels stare. They'll look, usually fleeting glances. Quick look here, quick look there, and then they're on their way. You know what I'm saying? Up the tree, cross power line. At least that's how the squirrels were where I was from, originally, you know? They were skittish creatures. They saw you coming, they went the opposite direction. As quick, fast, and in a hurry as fucking possible. I never really paid attention to the squirrels out here too much. You know, they're a little different than the ones I'm used to seeing. They're like this nice, puffy brown jackets that they wear. They look like little jackets. I swear to God, they look like squirrels wearing reddish brown fur coats with a tail attachment. But they're obviously not wearing little fur coats with tail attachments, and that's their actual coat. But, you know, I'm used to seeing, you know, little city gray, you know, looking like they're wearing a pair of jeans and a fucking hoodie and shit. That's what our squirrels look like, you know, a little more rough around the collar. They weren't looking all, you know, like a fucking squirrel wearing a fur coat with a tail attachment. I thought we had established this in the beginning of what I was saying. Now, as I'm observing these squirrels, this one squirrel anyway that's staring at me while I'm eating my fucking breakfast, I look over, obviously, because I'm wondering why he's sitting there staring. What the fuck does he want? I'm eating Apple Jacks. There's nothing nutty about this breakfast. Go fucking dig in the dirt, fucking nuts, squirrel. I mean, I have nothing for you, you know? That's what I said out the window. And I was laughing when I said it, obviously, because I was just laughing at that point in time now. Now, here's the point that I'm trying to make. Another squirrel came. You know what I'm saying? And he sat there with the squirrel that was there and began communicating with this squirrel that was originally staring at me. So now they're both out there talking. And they're like talking with their paws. Like people talk with their hands, like, you know what I'm saying? You know, this way, blah blah, boom boom bam. The squirrels are like, I'm just sitting here staring at this shit, right? I'm just staring at it. I'm not really thinking heavily into it. It's just, I'm just thinking of the odd behavior of the squirrels here. And this being my first time really noticing this behavior among the squirrels of this area that I'm in now. Now, I told you there were two of them. They were sitting there looking at me, communicating amongst themselves, and then they turned, and then they both started staring at me while I was eating my cereal and shit. I'm thinking to myself, you know what? I know what it is, right? I gave them some bread pieces the other day. Didn't want to waste the ends of the bread and shit. Figured, you know, nobody else is going to eat them. Crumple them up to crumbs, you know? Throw them out there for the birds and such. That's what I did. Apparently, I'm thinking that's probably why the squirrels are there. They're just talking about breadcrumbs and shit outside my house. So I figured, you know what? I'll go outside and I'll bring out some more bread, because maybe they ate all the bread and they want some more bread. And unlike the squirrels where I'm from originally, these squirrels are a little bit more like not skittish. So I get a couple ends, crumple them up into the bag to walk out the front door. Porch side of the house where I see them sitting at. Now, I'm figuring at this point in time, probably, they're not gonna be just still standing there like everything is all good and shit. Man's coming out bread. Let's go back here safe, just in case this guy is trying to eat us. That's what I would be thinking if I was a squirrel. I wouldn't just be chilling there, human person coming towards me with some shit in their hand. Fuck that shit. No, not trying to feel that at all. As a squirrel, that's what I would think, you know? But these squirrels weren't thinking like that. They were just chilling there, you know? So I go to scatter some of the bread out on the ground and shit for the bird, you know, the birds and the squirrels. The squirrels are the ones that are there at this point in time. So I figure I'll hit them up with some of this bread, because obviously that's what they want. And I notice as I start to scatter some bread around that there's still bread there. And I'm kind of thinking to myself, why aren't they, you know, I thought maybe they were eating the bread. So, fuck it, whatever. Throw the rest of it out for the birds and shit. I turn around, I start to walk away. Strange ass squirrels, they're still sitting there, right? And as I turn around, I start walking back towards the house and shit. I hear a little voice. Couldn't find any fucking nuts? Turn around. I'm thinking maybe one of my sons, right, is playing a game. They came outside, saw me feeding the squirrels, and decided to speak a little funny voice and try to fuck with me, like, oh yeah, squirrels talk and shit. I'm sure they do, right? But I turned around anyway. You know, just in case. It was what I didn't think that it was, and it was what I didn't think it was, and what I didn't think it was some damn squirrels talking. It's not what I thought was happening. Like I told you what I thought. Kids playing jokes, trying to fuck around like shit's funny. But instead it turns out to be the squirrels talking. So, confused as I was, I still tried to maintain composure. Because, think about it, if some fucking previously wild, non-communicating animal just speaks to you out of nowhere, it says, what the fuck, or whatever it fucking says, it speaks, that's enough to freak out most people. You get what I'm saying? Nobody's just gonna take that as, oh yeah, an animal's talking. That's not shocking at all. I'm not by any means flip the fuck out at this point in time. I would have so many questions. I'd be like my son asking this talking animal questions. And that's exactly what I had for these talking squirrels. When they said something about, I could at least give them some nuts. Now, I was just saying, to the squirrels, trying to keep my composure. Mind you, I want to freak out because they're really talking to me, not in my head and shit. I didn't like bang my fucking head on a rock or some shit. I need drugs, alcohol, none of that. Straight up, just squirrels talking to me in the back of my house. So I had to communicate with them. You get what I'm saying? I mean, you'd be rude not to communicate with something that's communicating with you. No matter how fucked up and crazy it seems in your mind at the time, you have to communicate, especially if they have made first communicational advance. They've thrown out their pawn. Wow! You have to respond. You have to acknowledge that you understand that they're speaking to you in human language. And yours. Not like a foreign language. It's not like it was speaking Spanish or Chinese or some other language I don't know. It was speaking fucking English. English it was speaking. Both of them spoke it together. And he spoke to me and once again reiterated what they had said when I turned around to leave. Which is, yo, what the fuck is up with this bread shit, man? Do we look like we want bread? The fuck are we gonna do with bread? We have teeth for chewing on shit. You get what I'm saying? That's the kind of teeth we have. We're rodents. Cute ones don't look like rats and fucking mice and shit. So you don't want to like just kill us on sight. But understand, we need to chew the fuck out of shit. And this bread just ain't gonna do, buddy. Like, for real. You're gonna have to come up off some nuts. Actual nuts. Nuts. We like all types of nuts. Doesn't matter the type of nut they are, as long as there's some nuts. So, why don't you get us some nuts? Since you want to be fucking helpful to the fucking birds and shit with this bread, and then think that we're gonna eat it. We're not gonna eat it. Sorry, buddy, not gonna do that. Not gonna eat it. No, we're not doing that. Nuts. There's all types of nuts. There's cheap ones. You can get them at Walmart in the fucking pet food section. Even bird seed is good. Bird seed and nuts. But this bread shit has to stop. Fucking think you're giving back to the environment and shit? No, you're not giving back to the fucking environment at all. You're just throwing out some shit that eventually we'll probably eat. We'll probably eat it. I'm not saying that we want to, but we will. If food sources dry up because you people keep moving into our land, taking over shit, knocking it down, and you throw out this bread. And you want us to eat this bread. Look at my fucking fur coat. I'm like, yeah. I was thinking that you were wearing a fur coat. Not like that was your fur coat. You get what I mean? What I'm saying that? Like fur coat as in detachable, you zip it up. Zip, zip, bow. I got my fur coat on. But no, it's actually your fur coat. And it's pretty cool. Like, I understand what you're saying. You're saying you're a bougie ass squirrel. And you want the best of the fucking best. You're not gutter and gangster enough to just scrape by on some bread pieces. I feel what you're saying. Don't get upset. There's no need to be angry, squirrels. Alright? We can work out a little fucking deal here. You know what I'm saying? I was beefing with this mouse. His name was Pendleton. I killed him, and the Blue Jays and shit killed a whole bunch. Well, I killed him and like 3 of his people. And the Blue Jays and Hawks and shit, they finished the rest. But here's the thing, right, Squirrels? I know he's got cousins and shit because he's a fucking rodent. No offense to you guys. You guys are the cool rodents. You don't like dig into people's bread, obviously, because you don't like it. You're asking for nuts. So I know you're not gonna get in my house one day and chew holes into shit like rice. And I don't have large supplies of nuts in my house, obviously, or I would have given you nuts in the first place. So I'll go get some. But here's the deal, right? Just in case you see any of Pendleton's family, which is mice, fucking house mice. You've seen them, little tiny fucking ratty ass looking half rat mice. If you happen to see any of these mice, I want you guys to fuck them up. Straight like that. I don't give two fucks about, well, they're rodents too. No, I don't want to hear that. I want to hear, we love these nuts that you provide us with, good sir. Allows us to feel our cheeks to full capacity and bring them back into the burrow for hibernation. Feed my children warm chestnut milk come springtime. That's what I want to hear from you, squirrels. That's all I want to hear. I'll give you nuts upon nuts, thousands of nuts. Nuts, so many nuts. You'll have so many nuts. You will not know what to do with them. Not at all. And there's so many of you nice little brown and red squirrels just running about. And you guys don't like hop around. You like walk around. It's kind of funny looking. It like makes me think that you're not squirrels sometimes. Because you be doing some not squirrel shit. Well, not like the squirrels I'm used to type shit. Never seen squirrels spend so much time on the fucking ground. I thought when I was growing up, because of the way our squirrels were, that y'all lived in trees exclusively and only came down to the ground rarely. Like, it had to be like some crazy ass shit. Because like I said, when I was growing up, motherfuckers, well, not you guys, these guys were gray. They look like fluffy, big mice, rat things. Not as cute as you guys. You guys are actually kind of cute. But here's the fucking point that I was trying to make, Squirrel. This is the point I was trying to make. Is that where I was from, you know, fuckers, they were fuckers. They would eat everything and anything, you know, bread. They'd dig in your trash bags. Take our trash out and shit. Fucking put the trash out. They rip into it, fucking eat trash, and make a big ass mess. Trash be all up in front of the house and shit. You have to go out there after you already bought the trash out, and you have to clean up the mess the fucking squirrels made. So I'm sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. It was a bad memory that I had of you guys for a moment, just at that moment. But I'm looking at you guys, and I can see that you guys are a different caliber of squirrel. I mean, shit, you talk, which obviously means you're smarter than the squirrels that I'm used to. Where I come, why do you keep talking about these squirrels from where you come from? Like, we're not those squirrels. We don't look like those squirrels. I'm quite sure we don't sound like those squirrels. Do we sound like those squirrels? No, you don't sound like those squirrels. Those squirrels didn't talk. Exactly. We talk, right? Have nice fur coats and shit. You know, we're asking you for nuts in English. So it makes sense to say that we're definitely not like those squirrels that you've met before in your life. We're not trashy fucking squirrels out here. We have goddamn pride and shit and scraps that you don't want throwing out thinking we want them. We don't. We're letting you know right now. Nuts. Always nuts. And as for your proposal of thousands and thousands of nuts to protect you from mice, well, we accept. We don't like those little fuckers either. They get into our burrows and chew up our nuts. Which makes us very angry, especially when we're trying to save a whole bunch. We put away just enough for us and our kids. And here come these fucking mice digging in our fucking burrows and shit, scratching up nuts, ruining them. So yes, we'll help you. If we see any of these mice, we'll destroy them immediately. But We must have thousands of nuts first, or there's no deal. I didn't give it a whole lot of thought, you know. I figured the best thing for me to do is to give him his thousands of nuts. It's not like thousands of nuts. It's very expensive. It's not expensive at all, you know. It just looks kind of crazy when you're outside dumping thousands of nuts all over your yard and shit, because you don't want to just leave them in a big pile, because that just looks stupid. And the squirrels were kind of like a little upset at the fact that I was spreading them about and not just leaving them in a pile. And I was just like, I don't want this to look crazy, guys. I mean, if I spread them around, it looks more realistic than if I just dump a pile to a couple of squirrels who just so happen to be around me talking. I'm pretty sure other people could hear you if you speak loud enough. So, shh, quiet down. Let me do things the way I'm doing things. You guys run around or walk around, crawl around, whatever you want to call it, and pick up the nuts. And you'll count and see that there's thousands and thousands of nuts. That's what I said I was going to do. And now you guys make sure you do what you're supposed to do. I don't want any fucking problems. I don't want any fucking problems with any fucking mice, okay? It's your job to make sure this house stays mouse free. Mouse free it stays, or the deal's off. No more nuts for you. Like, you'll have to go back to doing whatever it was you were doing before you were getting them free for me, okay? Because they're not free. They're not free at all. If you want any of my nuts, you're gonna do what I ask, which is make sure no mice get in here. Now, I thought that I had established my demands upon these talking squirrels very clearly. No mice around where the nuts were. Maybe I didn't state it that way, you know, but I said I don't want mice in the house, period. Now, I started to notice some of these squirrels were talking to the fucking mice. Not on my property, but at the edges and shit. And I'm wondering, what the fuck are they talking about? I can see them looking around and shit, kind of like they're feeding him information or something. Could be feeding him some of these nuts that I've been buying. Because like I said, I gave them thousands of nuts to do what it is I needed them to do, which was to make sure these fuckers don't get into the house. But they're having conversations with them. Maybe I should have made it clear. Like, no fucking communicating with goddamn mice at all. Except to say, you're dead. We're about to get... In fact, don't say anything. You don't have to tell them shit. If you see them, you fucking kill them. I thought that I had made this abundantly clear in our agreement. Fucking see you fuckers out here talking to the fucking mice. What the fuck is your fucking problem? Huh? They looked at me like I was fucking crazy. Like I had no right to be, you know, demanding that they not fraternize with the fucking enemy. The hell's wrong with you? I slapped one of the squirrels quickly, swiftly, with a stick across the side of his face. I connected, knocked him down to the floor. He hit the ground, rolled around. He acted like he wanted to fucking fight. He starts talking some shit. Oh, you need a stick now. Oh, you need a stick now. I'm like, I don't need the stick, but I figured it would be more emphasis if I used the stick to smack you in the face with it in front of these mice to let them know that I don't have any fucking respect for you rodents. Yeah, that goes for you fucking squirrel motherfuckers too. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I gave y'all motherfucking nuts. Thousands and thousands of them. That's what I said I was gonna do. But you guys are over here talking to the motherfucking mice. And I don't understand what breakdown in communication we had when said agreement was made. I said fucking no mice, right? No fucking mice at all. No talking with mice. If I'm telling you I want you to motherfucking kill mice, why the fuck would I want you talking to mice? Why? Explain this to me. Explain this to me, squirrels. Explain it. This one squirrel, right, comes from the back by the tree and shit, right? They all look over like he's big shit. Like he must be Master Squirrel or some shit. I don't know what the fuck they're all getting all nervous and shit about. Fuck him. Worried about me. I'm the motherfucker with the nuts. Shit. Anyway, fucking Squirrel comes walking up. He's a little fatter than the rest of them. You know what I'm saying? His coat's looking plush. He even has like a little hoodie and shit. Bam. Nice fucking squirrel fur coat. Extended tail. Bam. With the fluff hoodie. Dude was rocking it. He was rocking it. He even had me in awe of him for like a hot second, though. That's about it. I remembered that I'm a human and he's a fucking squirrel with a hoodie on. How stupid is that? You have fur, bitch. I don't. Makes sense for me to wear a hoodie. Doesn't make sense for you to wear a hoodie. Stop it. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking at this dude. I'm looking at him, right? I bust out laughing. Yeah. What? You supposed to be scary and shit, son? What you like, the gangster of fucking squirrels? You got them all on lockdown where you holding all the nuts? He's like, yeah, I am holding all the nuts. I'm like, good for you. I'm glad you're holding on. I want all the nuts. I'm like, good. I'm glad you want all the nuts. You can have all the nuts that you already have. You're not getting any more nuts from me because you're sitting here talking to the goddamn enemy, the fucking mice. I see you out here talking to the fucking mice. What's with all the talk? It makes me feel like you guys are working both sides of the motherfucking fence. We can't have that. We can't have that. How would you like it, right? If I didn't hold up my end of the motherfucking bargain, which was to bring you nuts, thousands and thousands of nuts, which I have said several times, which means I delivered on my end of the fucking bargain, motherfucker. But you, shit, make me mad. Fuck you. You should have been giving us nuts in the first place. What's this half-ass bread shit, huh? That's like disrespect, man. Straight up. That's disrespect. We're fucking squirrels. We don't eat bread. Do you see us running around out here with like little fucking loaves of fucking bread and shit? No, nuts, bitch. I'm sure the fucking squirrels where you were from ate nuts. I've heard stories of New England fucking squirrels sitting in trees and shit, throwing fucking nuts on top of people's shit. Never heard of squirrels hanging around in trees as much as squirrels where you guys are from hang out in trees. That's not the fucking point. You're not gonna be talking shit to us just because we're motherfucking squirrels and you don't like us because we're talking to fucking mice and shit. They're our goddamn cousins, alright? You can't expect us to just kill them on spot. It's not gonna happen like that. So, here's what it is, motherfucker. We're gonna keep the nuts. I'm keeping the nuts that I've taken. They're my nuts now. And the rest of these guys who are supposed to be doing the work that you said that they're supposed to do, well, they're not gonna do it until they get their nuts. Okay? That's what's gonna be. And since I have all the nuts that I want, which is all the nuts that you gave them, and I'm not giving them any of these nuts, you're gonna have to come up off some fucking nuts. Simple as fucking that. I'm looking at this motherfucking squirrel like this motherfucker got some goddamn squirrel nuts. And I'm not talking about the ones that he pulls off the trees either. Shit. This motherfucker's talking cash shit. Like he's gonna knock my ass out with them little squirrel paws. I'm looking at him with this face, like the one I'm making right now. I'm shaking my head just like this, listening to this motherfucker. Now, when he finishes talking his shit about what the fuck he's gonna do, how he's gonna do it, well, I kicked the shit out of him. Yeah, I know what you're saying. That's terrible. Why would you do harmful things to woodland creatures when he just wants the nuts. No, he can't have all the nuts that I put out there. I put out thousands and thousands of nuts. And this one squirrel, just because he has a fucking hoodie on, gets to be like boss squirrel of all the other squirrels. We had a fucking deal. And he's fucking shit up. I don't want these mice that they're talking to thinking that things are sweet around this side of fucking town. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. And since these motherfucking squirrels want to play games, they want to play games. You think I'm fucking stupid? That's what I asked them. That's what I asked them. I asked them if they thought I was stupid. And you know what they said as they spoke back to me? The answer that came from their lips was some ridiculous shit. No. Now, I've seen squirrels work together. Dig big burrows. More space. More nuts. You think I thought these squirrels were any different than the other squirrels? I seen these squirrels chilling on the ground, just chilling. They were talking squirrels. Like I said, maybe the other ones where I'm from, I wasn't listening hard enough and just didn't hear them, and that's probably what it was. Maybe it wasn't. I just know that these squirrels out here thought they were gonna make a fool out of me. This one fucking squirrel, I told you, fucking kicked him really hard. He went flying backwards. He fell off the edge of my porch. That shit he was talking out of his fucking mouth got him kicked, like I just told you. Anyway, so a whole bunch of these other squirrels, you know, wearing fucking fur hoodie, little mini jackets and shit, come running up on me, right? I've got my broom. I'm not playing around. I start smacking the fucking shit out of all these squirrels that are coming at me. And they're coming at me pretty deep. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't feeling this sudden change of events. Now, I didn't know this squirrel name who I kicked first. But he jumped back up, started talking in squirrel language. Because, you know, they have their own language. I don't know how these squirrels were speaking fucking English. Didn't really question them on that aspect of their existence, which probably would have made sense for me to ask them, because maybe they came from some laboratory and they just escaped, and maybe I can call this in and not have to be fighting with some goddamn squirrels. And maybe giving them nuts was not a good idea. Maybe that was actually a bad idea. Maybe they're like gremlins and they'll turn into some crazy ass creatures if they eat the nuts before midnight or after midnight, or maybe at 1:30 in the morning exactly if they eat the nuts, which they will, because there's thousands and thousands of nuts, and it'll turn into some like mutated crazy creature bent on destroying everything in its path. Giant teeth and claws, just tearing, eating everything that they see. That's not what it was. So don't get carried away. Don't get carried away. Okay? Now, like I said, I had kicked this fucking squirrel around and they're coming at me. And I told you there was a bunch of them with these little furry hoodies that they were wearing. Smacking them with the broom is what I'm doing. And I'm, doing pretty good. I'm giving them the business. Straight up. No games. No games. Just hurt and pain is what I had for them that particular moment in time. I didn't notice that the mice were trying to make their way towards the back cellar door. I saw this, and I realized these fucking squirrels were working with these damn mice. They were working with them. Ooh, once a rodent, always a rodent. Never make a deal with a rodent. So these rodents, together, in cahoots with each other, they were. So I'm not happy about it. Some of these fucking mice were exactly who I thought they could possibly be. Relatives of Pendleton. Distant, of course, relatives of his, but relatives nonetheless, followed his little trail of shit turds, urine, pheromones and shit, came to the area where he found me. Well, they found what he found, so they found me too, and that upset me greatly. Because now I'm fighting with these fucking squirrels, because they're rodents. Let the damn mice get in to the perimeter in the first place. I gotta handle things myself, which is what I should have done in the first place, and not trusted these fucking talking squirrels. How you gonna trust talking squirrels? How? I don't know. I just thought I could because they could talk, right? But not everything that talks to you is good. You know what I'm saying? That's what I learned. That's what I learned. See, talking squirrels, don't interact with them. They start talking to you. And don't give them any nuts either. You know what I'm saying? Don't give them any nuts, because then they call their little rodent friends if you give them extra nuts. And then they let their rodent fucking friends, mice, come hanging around, eating on the leftover nuts and shit. After they've buried the ones that they want, then they let the fucking mice have the other ones. And then the mice are like, oh shit, this is near somebody's motherfucking house. We like basements. We like chewing in holes in walls and shit. Yeah, let's go in there. No, that's not what's gonna happen, mice. No, it's not gonna happen. I ran quickly into my house. Slammed the doors. Ran down here to my little studio / laboratory / time machine / shrinking machine / whatever the fuck I needed to be for the sake of any story that I'm telling at the time that I'm telling it. So right now, it's just my weapons containment shrinking place. Pick out my weapons and shit that I need. A couple of little miniature trucks. They look like little RC trucks, you know what I'm saying? A little bit bigger though. So when I get in them, I can like drive them and shit. Special little remote that I have that shrinks with me when I go. That's part of my equipment package. I make sure that the damn minigun is at the top of it. You know what I'm saying? Shrink myself. I'll have some gear. So I get all this shit ready. Right? I get ready to hit the button. The button, well, it's right here in front of me. But I turn around to go get some other stuff and put it in a little pad where things have to be at so that you all gets shrunk at the same time to the same size, scale. You know what I mean? Yeah. So while I'm getting the machine ready, my youngest son comes busting in. Right? Just as I press the fucking button. So now I'm shrunk, he's shrunk, and all the stuff that I'm bringing with me is shrunk. So now it's me and Miles going up against these mice. Now I didn't want him to be there for this, because these mice be on some shit when you're the same size as them. But that's the only way you can eradicate them, because that's the only time they're gonna come out. If you're human size, you already know what they do. They run up under shit, you know what I'm saying? They run away. They don't run towards. They're not like gonna be that unless they're sick and dying of some kind of fucking poison or some shit. They're running away. And they're gonna hide. I don't want them to do that. So I make myself small, because that makes them get all brolic and shit. Like, yeah, we're gonna go fuck this human up. That's how these ones were thinking. Because they had no idea. Because, see, they're further generations down. So they weren't there for the first war, and they definitely weren't there for the second. So they just knew Pendleton's demise was here. Exactly how his demise, they did not know. Ha ha ha. So they see me, small as I am, and they come running like they're going to kick some ass. Oh, it was glorious. I opened up on them with the motherfucking machine gun. Tap, 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 just mowing them down by the 10s and 20s. Pop, plop, plop. They're falling down. It's fucking ridiculous. They're screaming and yelling and shit, not understanding what's going on. They've never seen a shrunken human with guns and shit before, I told you. They only heard the legends spoken of the one known as Reese, killer of mice, and loser of pinky toe. But they had never seen me in action. And today was their first day. And I had my son with me. So it was like double bad for them. Double bad. Because my son doesn't like mice either. It's a mortal enemy for all of us. We remember those days. They had us enslaved. I don't want to speak of it. It brings back terrible memories. Remember, I was forced to put peanut butter on bread, sit it down on the floor, threatened with shit dropped in my cereals. And how are you gonna tell? Those little tiny ass turds get all up in there, probably be at the bottom, touch everything all the way down till it gets to the bottom of the box, and you're not even noticing it, right? You have no idea, right? They just putting yourself some fucking cereal in your bowl, you pour some milk in your cereal that's in your bowl, and you're just chowing down because you don't see them yet. Yeah, that's right, yet. You've eaten most of the cereal, and you look back, and what do you see floating in your fucking milk? Little brown turds. That's how they fucking get you. That's how they get you. I refuse to let that happen. So once I was shrunken down, mowing down these little sons of bitches left and fucking right, giving them the absolute business, I start throwing grenades at them. I want them to understand that this is the worst place that they could ever be, that they'd ever want to be, that they would be eradicated, destroyed. Don't call me the Orkin Man. Don't call me the man from Terminix. No, I am Reese, killer of mice, hunter of rodents, destroyer of rodents and mice and shit related to them because they annoy me. You understand what I'm saying? I was fucking furious with the fact that these bastards were back and my poor little son had to witness all this shit. But he was having fun. He was having fun. And I was like, yes, I will teach him the ways of the miniature mouse killing machinery that I have. He can understand it. So I had him drive the little remote control pickup truck. And you're probably saying to yourself, that's like a full-size pickup truck when you're shrunken and shit. That's very irresponsible. Well, which one would be more responsible to you? Letting him fire the Gatling gun off the back of the truck or driving the fucking truck? It's not like he had a choice. He was shrunken down, people. I'm not gonna go tell him to go sit in a corner somewhere where he'd probably be in more danger. Can't blame me for him being shrunken, although you can kind of blame me for him being shrunken because I made the time machine and the shrinking machine all in the same time. Therefore, I am somewhat at the base of the responsibility responsible for him being shrunken. But I didn't have him here knowingly. He busted through the fucking door. It's not my fault he got shrunk. I thought he was somewhere else. But anyway, yeah. I had him drive the little fucking miniature pickup truck. He was doing pretty good at it too. Running mice over, crushing them. It was hilarious. Run him over. I'd be on top with the fucking Gatling gun, mowing them down like grass on a fucking manicured lawn. Yes, trimmed perfectly, destroyed just fucking right. Getting them. Making them understand that they are not welcome here. They're not welcome here. There's no surrender. You'll stay off my land. You'll stay off my land. I'm not going to poison the ground. I'm not going to do that because I want to grow things. I just want you guys to understand that this is my fucking turf. And fuck you, squirrels. Yeah, fuck you too. No, fuck you. Fuck you for having me give you nuts and shit. And then you don't even fucking do any of that shit like you're supposed to do. Liars. Yeah, well, that's like us coming up to you and saying, hey, we don't like your fucking neighbors. How about you kill them because we have a problem with them, and we'll give you some steaks. Are you gonna kill your friends for some steaks? No. Especially not no steaks from a fucking squirrel. That's not the point. The point is, guess what? Mice are our fucking relatives. Like, you know, blood relatives, we're related, cousins and shit. They come by to the goddamn family reunion from time to time. So, can't get mad at us. You can't get mad at us for not wanting to kill our fucking cousins, mice, shit. Fuck you. And he left. Went somewhere, either in a burrow or up a tree. But he was out of my eyesight. Obviously, the squirrels didn't want none. They didn't have numbers like the mice. And the mice, they had decided that it was in their best interest to back the fuck off. Because I was not giving any signs of stopping what I was doing. My son was having so much fun driving this little truck around, I didn't want him to stop. And I was having so much fun shooting shit, especially little mice. Oh, it was wonderful. Well, anyway, after maybe like 2 or 3 hours of this mouse killing mayhem, me and my son went back, grew back to normal size, like we're supposed to. You know what I'm saying? I forget what we did after that. It might have been playing some video games, or maybe I popped some popcorn. I think that's what it was. I think I popped some popcorn. I made some popcorn to have while watching movies and such, because that's what I like to do after I go to war with mice. It makes me hungry. Or maybe I just don't want them to eat any of the stuff that I have, so I'll try to eat it before they can eat it. Although, like I said, they didn't make it in today. I know they're out there. I know they'll be back. They always come back. They always try. But no, it's not happening. And I don't trust the squirrels anymore either. I'm going to be keeping my eyes on them. You know what I'm saying? Blue jays are cool. I mean, they were only going to eat me because I was small and shit. It's not like they be trying to eat me now. And they hate mice and stuff. They're kind of cool with the squirrels. I be seeing them sometimes all together eating whatever they fucking find in the grass and shit. I don't know what it is. But they be talking to each other. You know, squirrels be like, yo, what up, Blue? And the squirrel like, yo, what up, Red? You know what I'm saying? The blue jay says to the squirrel because they look like they're wearing little red fur coats. But not with hoodies. That was, you know, I just threw that in there. You know, it was not really with hoodies. But it's craziness, you know. Just be careful. Be careful of the squirrels. You don't want them to, like, move in and then you're giving them nuts. And then the extra nuts they give to the mice. And the mice think it's cool to come hang around. They don't understand. You don't want them around there. You don't want them anywhere near your domicile. Just stay way off. Don't even be on the property, okay? Don't even be on the property. Any of it. Thank you very much for joining me for another story. Another one of OmenG's stupid, scary stories. It's Friday. I hope everyone's enjoying it.